seeing a movie other than Toy Story 3? Blasphemy! Night and day. I was rather looking forward to this movie. I thought the trailers were alright, but it was really the cast that interested me. I mean, Tom Cruise, he gets a lot of hate, but other than his controversial issues, I think he's a very good actor. I mean, yes, he's had his down points, he gets a little crazy, but I mean, he has been in some very good movies. And if not very good, I mean, there's just the fun action movies like Mission Impossible. And he's shown us, like in Tropic Thunder, that he's capable of being hysterical. So those two kinds of things combined, with Ethan Hunt combined with Les Grossman, gets us his character in Night and Day. That and the fantastic on-screen chemistry with Cameron Diaz just makes this movie just so much fun to watch. While the story, it's very cliche, it's predictable, and it's not very original, there are points where it lacks development and then makes it kind of confusing and it feels very unfinished at times. You know, overall, it's really just the interaction between our two main characters that makes this movie interesting. The movie's cliches are very noticeable, but they're done with a particular charm that prevents it from becoming tedious. While it did drag out a little bit, the pacing was nice, but by the end of the movie, the charm started to wear off, and there was a point where one of the characters says, "Just die already," and I was just like, just end already, end on a high note. It does take it out a little too far, and the ending's just not very strong, but I mean, the ride through it is very fun. I was sucked in from the beginning of the movie. The airplane scene is awesome, and the action scenes are incredibly well directed and edited, and the comedic timing is just perfect. I mean, there are some parts that are just absolutely hysterical, but I mean, there are some parts that are just absolutely hysterical, but the problem is that they make light of a lot of serious situations, so in them I can never feel like these characters are really in danger. They usually do a good job. Now, for most of the movie, it's very over-the-top, and that I can enjoy because when a movie makes fun of itself being over-the-top and it's satirical, then it's just very funny. But the main storyline, they do take very seriously, and it's a bit ridiculous, so it stretches too far out of my taste, even for an action movie plotline, and that could have been a little better. There are also some awkward parts of dialogue where there's silence in between, and you're never sure what kind of emotions these characters are trying to display, and you're just very confused. I don't know, and the audience, I could feel, was just kind of at that point where they didn't really know what was going on. Peter Sarsgaard's kind of our antagonist. He's the villainous type character. He's very predictable, very cliche. I mean, he's just right out of the assembly line, and it's just, he's not very big in the beginning of the movie. He has a couple scenes, then he just comes in very strong at the end. He's a fantastic actor, and they could have given him a lot better to work with. Paul Dano does a very good job. His character, it seems like he could be very complex, and if they dwelled into that more, it could have been very good. It has every action comedy cliche, but with the power of the two leads and their chemistry together, and some very well-directed action scenes, this movie overall makes them work. Nothing truly fantastic, but it is one of the better movies of the summer, and I recommend checking it out. If you haven't seen Toy Story 3 yet, you better go see that before seeing this. But this is a very enjoyable movie experience. I will give it an 8 out of 10. This is a song I like to call the Tom Cruise Blues. Tom Cruise hadn't been in a good movie for a while, and people were kind of angry at him. Now he did. It was actually pretty enjoyable. Yay.